previous video, we created our first workflow. We configured Corbit to watch an input folder and move JPEG files to an output folder. In this video, we will make some changes to the same workflow and add some functionality. We will take care of the TIFF file that remained in the input folder, making a copy of all files that is moved to a backup folder, and add an action to delete non-wanted files in our input folder to keep it nice and clean. We are going to start with creating a backup of the JPEG file before moving it using the action copy. Now you know how to add an action, so we click Add Action, and this time we select Copy, and I name the action Backup JPEG. I have prepared a folder to use for the backups, so I just select that one and then click Save. The new backup action shows up. It's still not connected to the rest of the workflow, so we need to hook it up. As the workflow currently is set up, the JPEG file that passes through the filter will then be moved by the move action. It's very important to understand that we can't first move the file and then make a copy of it. If the file were to be moved, then the file will be lost in the scope for the next workflow task and would not be found when to be copied. Therefore, we need to make some changes to the workflow. We simply disconnect the transition between the filter and the output, rearrange the actions just to see what's going on a bit better. We connect the filter to the copy actions input, and finally the copy actions output to the move actions input. Let's test it out. First, a quick save. Let me open our folders so we can see what's going on a bit better. Then I drop my files into the input folder. Perfect. We got a copy to our backup folder. The file was then moved to our output folder. And sadly left behind there are two files in the input folder. Let's take care of the TIFF file first. To make it a bit more interesting, let's create a JPEG subfolder and a TIFF subfolder in our output folder. Now we need a filter for the TIFF files, like the one we created for the JPEG file. So we create a new file filter. Let's call it TIFF files. And then we specify that only TIFF files are allowed through this filter. And save. The first filter the file from the input folder will pass is the JPEG filter. If the condition is met, it's going to pass on to the backup JPEG action and then move to the output action. In this case, the TIFF file will not pass, so it's going to take another route through the pass not output. So we add a transition from that output to our new filter's input. Then we need the same set of actions that we have made since earlier and add transitions to them as well. You may create an action in the same way as before from the top menu, but you can also duplicate actions you already have and make necessary changes to them. Let's do that. What about those subfolders we created in the output folder? Let's take care of that as well. Now we could use routing folders. So I add JPEG to the JPEG move action and TIFF to the TIFF move action. This is the simplest way of setting this up. Actually, we could just have had two different root folders instead, but why not do it like this for now? The last thing is to make sure that our input folder remains clean after image files have been handled. We want to make sure that other file formats is just deleted. So let's add a delete action to take care of that, and then try it out.